Welcome to the Awesome Pod Mix. You are listening to Abby. The idea behind this podcast was to talk about how certain movies and TV shows made me feel when I watched them for the very first time. A reputed filmmaker once said, "When a piece of art invokes a similar feeling amidst a large audience, it's the triumph of the filmmaker." That's the magic of cinema. I love the magic of cinema. Today, I'll be discussing the finale episode of Marvel Studios WandaVision. It's Marvel's first offering in Phase 4. Whether Marvel creates movies or TV shows, they are all cinematic. The ninth episode begins with Wanda's voiceover, previously on WandaVision, which is no longer happy. We pick up where we left off in the previous episode. Wanda reminds Agatha that she is no longer in her dungeon and can use her powers now. Agatha's motive is to drain Wanda of her powers, as she did to the members of her coven. Billy and Tommy try to escape Agatha's leash, but she slams them to the ground. Wanda blasts her magic on Agatha, injuring her and making her fall to the ground. Wanda asks the kids to go to their room, but they want to help. Agatha gets up and insists that the boys listen to their mother. Tommy speeds both Billy and him away from the fight. Wanda blasts more energy toward Agatha, and this time, she catches it. Wanda's hand turns dark and withered. Agatha blasts Wanda off with her purple magic. She thinks Wanda is undeserving and she should surrender her powers to Agatha because she knows what to do with them. Agatha will let Wanda keep her hex in exchange for her powers. Well, I don't believe a villain. Wanda sneaks up a car behind Agatha that slams her inside a house. A trick that she has previously used on Tony Stark during Civil War's airport battle. When Wanda checks on Agatha, she only finds her shoes under the car, just like the Wicked Witch of the West. She spots White Vision's reflection in the glass. Now she hasn't seen Vision since episode 6, the Halloween episode, and she might think that Vision turned white after the expansion of her hex. She asks him, "Vision, is that really you?" He cups her face and starts to crack her skull. Hex Vision arrives in the nick of time and saves Wanda. Hex Vision is concerned about the safety of his kids. Wanda expresses that she should have revealed the truth to Vision when she realized it. Vision knows the truth now and understands Wanda. Wanda promises she can fix it. Agatha appears and says, "Oh, this is awkward. Your ex and your boyfriend at the same party. Who are you going to choose, Wanda?" Wanda says, "Vision. This is our home." Vision replies, "Then let's fight for it." Hex Vision takes on White/Spectral Vision. Wanda follows Agatha to fight her. And we see Monica trapped inside Agatha's house in the distance. Monica repeatedly bangs on the window to get Wanda's attention. Monica tries to escape, but fake Pietro is fast and mighty strong. Hex Vision wants to resolve his fight with White Vision peacefully, but White Vision is working under the command of Hayward. White Vision tries to extract the Mind Stone from Hex Vision. Outside the Hex, Hayward is tracking the vibranium signature of both the Visions fighting. Hayward's men bring Jimmy in handcuffed. Jimmy steals a phone from the table while engaging in a conversation with Hayward. Jimmy says, "You'll never be able to cover it up." Hayward replies, "There's no footage proving that there was more than one Vision." Hayward wants to eliminate Wanda and take credit for resurrecting Vision. Jimmy threatens Hayward that he won't succeed because his friends at Quantico will be here in an hour. Jimmy is taken away. He manages to secure a pin and get rid of the handcuffs with a flourish, as magicians do. And just like Vision's magic trick in episode 2, Jimmy makes a phone call to his friends at Quantico. Inside the Hex, Wanda is looking for Agatha in the town. Agatha blasts Wanda with her magic and she falls face smack to the ground. Agatha reveals that there's an entire chapter devoted to the Scarlet Witch in the Darkhold. That's the Book of the Damned. The same glowing book that was in Agatha's dungeon next to Senor Scratchy when she fed him the cicada. Agatha summons the book and reads, "Scarlet Witch is not born. She's forged. She has no coven, no need for incantation." Wanda says, "I'm not a witch. I don't cast spells and no one taught me magic." Agatha says, "Your power exceeds that of the Sorcerer Supreme." At this point, I knew Doctor Strange was not going to make an appearance. Agatha says, "It's your destiny to destroy the world." I think she's going to make her own destiny. I think she's going to prove the prophecy wrong. Wanda's characterization is very Greek hero-like. Wanda says, I am not what you say I am. Agatha frees Dottie from Wanda's spell. Dottie begs Wanda to let her daughter out of her room. Agatha frees all of the town people from Wanda's spell, and they charge toward Wanda angrily. Monica tries to investigate Agatha's house. She finds the water bill in Ralph's name. She also finds his headshot that reads Ralph Bohner. Fake Pietro is the fake husband Agnes keeps talking about throughout the show. My husband Ralph, my husband Ralph, my husband Ralph. Monica overpowers Ralph. She spots the beads glowing in purple energy. She removes the beads, freeing Ralph from Agatha's spell. Hex Vision and White Vision continue to fight, causing destruction in Westview. Billy senses that their mom is in trouble. When the town people complain how they can't remember why they are in this state and how they could feel Wanda's nightmare and pain, no one, not a single person, extended a hand of courtesy to Wanda saying, "It must be so hard for you to deal with so much of trauma." All they say is, "Your grief is poisoning us." Imagine what it must be doing to her. I understand that they are suffering, and I understand that they deserve their lives back. But this is no way to treat a person suffering from depression and post-traumatic stress disorder. This is the whole reason people don't share their vulnerabilities. People just want to use the suffering individual's vulnerabilities thinking that they are weak. The whole town overwhelms Wanda and she can't handle it. She screams and she doesn't realize that the whole town is being strangled by her magic. She lifts the spell and promises that she will let them go. Agatha is that bully who's been waiting for this opportunity to say, "What you waiting for? Heroes don't torture people." Oh, right. Agatha, what do villains do? They can do anything and not be accountable for any of their actions. Right? Wanda is not a villain. Wanda opens the borders of her hex and asks everyone to leave. Everything starts to glitch in the town. Hayward uses this opportunity to get inside the hex along with his cavalry. Hex Vision loses his powers as the hex disintegrates. Hex Vision drops to the ground. Wanda's kids speedily arrive and even they begin to disintegrate with the hex. Before Jimmy Woo could enter the hex, Wanda closes the borders. Wanda reunites with her family. Agatha uses this opportunity to blast Wanda off along with her family. Wanda creates a spherical energy shield to protect them. Just like Violet in The Incredibles, Agatha starts to drain Wanda of her chaos magic, and Wanda starts to wither. All the threats have to be dealt with simultaneously. Wanda's family poses as the iconic Incredibles family. Each member of the family is assigned to take on a specific threat. The music builds up. Hex Vision takes on White Vision as he is thrown into the public library. White Vision is instructed to destroy the Vision and Wanda. Hex Vision argues that he is only conditional vision. White Vision is perplexed. He says, "I request elaboration." It's interesting to see that two robots would have a philosophical argument to resolve their differences instead of having a physical fight. Hex Vision tried to do that earlier as well, but now it seems like he's succeeding. Wanda instructs the boys to handle the military, and Wanda flies off to take on Agatha. Billy mind controls the soldiers, and Tommy snatches away their weapons speedily in no time. Hayward gets off his vehicle and shoots at the kids. This guy is the worst. Monica spots this from a distance and yells for the kids to take cover. Monica uses herself as a human shield to save the kids and her powers to render the bullets useless. Billy stops one of the bullets using his powers. Hayward runs out of bullets. Both Monica and Billy praise each other for their cool tricks. Hayward gets into another vehicle and backs it up to gain momentum, only to run over the kids. Hayward is the worst there can be. Darcy's funnel truck, an armored vehicle pre-Hex, arrives in the nick of time and rams into Hayward's vehicle. Darcy says, "Have fun in prison." Hex Vision explains the predicament with the ship of Theseus thought experiment. Hex Vision and White Vision come to an understanding. Hex Vision seeks permission to restore White Vision's memories. A touch of Hex Vision's magic courses through White Vision's circuit. White Vision's eyes change like Hex Vision's eyes. Vision is restored. White Vision blasts through the ceiling to figure out who he is outside of the Mind Stone. Wanda sneaks up on Agatha and gives her a nightmare. It's the same trick she used on the Avengers during Age of Ultron. Agatha is back at the stake for trial with her hands tied behind. This is the same place where she drained the life force of her coven members. Wanda reminds Agatha that she did everything on purpose, while Wanda had no clue. The coven members come back to life to haunt and attack Agatha. Agatha pretends to be scared for a moment, but she breaks into a smirk as the witches chant the name of Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, harbinger of chaos. The witches grab Wanda by her arm and put her on the stake for trial. They tie her hands behind using magic. Agatha reveals that power isn't Wanda's problem, it's the lack of knowledge. The Scarlet Witch crown appears on Wanda's head. Agatha wants the Scarlet Witch powers for herself, and in exchange, she will correct the flaws of Wanda's original spell. Now, I never believe a villain, no matter what they say. Wanda breaks free of the Coven Witches and takes Agatha down. Wanda shoots power blasts at Agatha. Wanda says, "Take it. I don't want it." Wanda misses her target with some power blasts, and it feels like it was deliberate. Wanda even stops Vision from intervening. Wanda blasts her energy away. She starts to wither furthermore, just like Agatha's Coven Witches. Outside the Hex, Jimmy watches the impact of Wanda's energy blasts on the Hex walls. Agatha now takes all of Scarlet Witch's powers as it flows like a stream toward her. Wanda is drained, withered, and almost lifeless. The kids and Vision watch this from the ground and they react worried. After taking away all the powers, Agatha reveals, "About that deal, once cast, a spell can never be changed. This world you made will always be broken. Just like you." When Agatha tries to use her magic to blast Wanda off completely, she fails. Wanda shows her runes and thanks Agatha for the lesson. Wanda says, "You don't need to tell me who I am." Wanda conjures her Scarlet Witch crown and costume as she absorbs all powers from Agatha. Wanda becomes the Scarlet Witch, just like the vision the Mind Stone showed her years ago. Agatha says, "Oh God, you don't know what you've done." Wanda and Agatha come back to the ground. Agatha is not stopping with her mind tricks. She says, "You have no idea what you've unleashed. You're gonna need me." Wanda says, "Then I would know where to find you." Wanda traps Agatha in the role of the nosy neighbor. Vision knows Wanda will fix everything, just not for the family. Wanda says, "No." The Hex starts to disintegrate. The sun begins to set. The day first transitions to evening and then to night. It's heartbreaking to watch Wanda and her family walk back to their home. This is probably the last time they'll ever be together. Wanda and Vision tuck the kids in bed. They tell the kids that they're very proud of them and that family is forever. We could never truly leave each other, even if we tried. They kiss them goodnight. Wanda says, "Boys, thanks for choosing me to be your mom." Wanda looks at her family portrait and switches off the lamps. Vision switches on one of the lamps. He says, "I read somewhere it's bad luck to say goodbye in the dark." Wanda and Vision hold hands as the Hex nears them. Vision tells Wanda, "I know we can't stay like this, but before I go, I must know, what am I?" What Wanda says in the reply is also one of the most beautiful lines on this show. As Wanda cups Vision's face, Wanda says, "You, Vision, are the piece of the Mind Stone that lives in me. You are my sadness and my hope, but mostly you are my love." Wanda and Vision kiss, holding the tears in their eyes. A tear rolls down Vision's cheek. Wanda wipes it off. Vision says, "I have been a voice with no body, a body but not human, and now a memory made real. We've said goodbye before, so it only stands to reason." And Wanda finishes his sentence, "We will say hello again." They better say hello to each other again. And then I want Wanda to say, "You had me at hello." The Hex disintegrates around them. Vision says, "So long, darling." I would say Vision is Wanda's good conscience, her moral compass. Wanda stands alone in the house plot, just as she did when she arrived for the first time. As she walks back through the town, everyone gives her dagger stares. Monica provides some words of comfort. "They would never know what you sacrificed for them." Monica understands Wanda's grief. Wanda apologizes to Monica for all the pain she caused her. Wanda says, "I don't understand my powers. But I will. Wanda flies off. In the mid-credit scene, Jimmy takes charge of things. Hayward is sent to prison. Monica is summoned to go to space. The Skrull girl says it's a message from a friend of her mother's after he heard she's grounded. It could either be Fury or Talos. In the post-credit scene, we see Wanda sitting in a cabin by the mountain lake, holding a teacup. She enters the cabin and pours piping hot tea brewing from the kettle without oven mitts. The camera travels further inside the cabin and finds Wanda in her astral form as she studies the Darkhold. And the Doctor Strange theme plays in the background. We've seen Doctor Strange also use his astral form, but only when he's asleep or unconscious. As Wanda is flipping through the pages of the Darkhold, she hears the voice of her kids, Tommy and Billy, calling for help. Wanda shuts the Darkhold and the screen wipes red to black. To know more, we'll have to wait for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Why do grieving people tend to watch sitcoms over and over again? It's because it gives them a sense of security that everything will be okay in the end. It's also the underlying theme of WandaVision. The show follows the 5 stages of grief in its structure to show Wanda's mental state that transitions from denial to anger to bargaining to depression and finally acceptance. The entire series is directed by Matt Shakman. The show is created by Jack Schaefer and her team of writers include Gretchen Enders, Megan McDonnell, Bobak Esfarjani, Peter Cameron, Mackenzie Dorr, Chuck Hayward, Cameron Squires, and Laura Donney. Thank you all. The show was exactly what I needed. You can listen to the Awesome Pod Mix and subscribe to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Google Podcasts. If you like what I'm doing, I'll soon be launching the Awesome Pod Mix page on Patreon, and you can support me there.